Hi, I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus who reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on. This is a film which I heard about it. I remember seeing the trailer for this movie. Well, some of the trailers that they released for it, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this movie actually did look genuinely really interesting. And of course, um, the film actually premieres there at the Toronto Film Festival there back in September, where it actually got some honestly very good reviews. So it did look like quite an interesting movie. Now I know this movie is directed by the director duo of Scott Beck and Bryan Woods, and I know obviously they previously directed 65, that dinosaur movie with Adam Driver that came out there last year. And yeah, if you remember my review that I did for that film, well, back when it was on YouTube, yeah, I didn't like that movie, honestly. I found it very disappointing. It was nowhere near as good as it could have been. But I was willing to, give them another shot, because I mean, they were the co-writers for the first Quiet Place movie, and that pretty much shows that they do have some talent to them. But yeah, so we actually got the movie there in Ireland as of me recording the review this past weekend. It was released there the 1st of November. The day I'm recording this review is the 6th of November. And as far as I'm aware, Heretic doesn't actually release in America and other territories until on Friday, the 8th of November, but in Ireland we actually got it the 1st of November. So we actually got the movie early. And so yeah, I went to see it there for myself this past weekend. Having seen Heretic for myself now, what do I think of it? Well, I have to say, when you consider the fact that the movie they previously directed was 65 of all films, I have to say this duo, man, to say that they improved themselves this time around, yeah, I've got to say, I honestly really enjoyed this one. Yeah, I will say this is like definitely one of the best horrors of the year. Um, yeah, getting into my thoughts on Heretic, now that we're already 4 minutes into the review. First off, the cinematography. I gotta say, this movie is really well shot. I mean, well, to be fair now, the fact that this movie was distributed by A24, it's kind of no surprise that, it's going to be a well shot film, because if there's one thing about A24, it's that, like, they do definitely know how to film a movie. Like, honestly, like, a lot of their films are honestly really well shot, and yeah, this film is pretty much no exception. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like the way that they filmed this movie. Like, there's just a bunch of all these, like, kind of different shots throughout the film, and the way that they film it and stuff. Yeah, honestly, it really is just intriguing way that they filmed the whole movie. I'm not gonna lie, there were honestly some great shots throughout the movie. Like, I can't even exactly pinpoint all of them. Like, honestly, like, even if you see the trailer, like, there's honestly some really nice shots in the trailer. But, like, there was one shot that I really loved. You might see in the trailer there's a scene where one of the two girls is climbing up this ladder. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, how that scene looks in the movie with the way it's shot, what they do and stuff. Yeah, I honestly really love the way that they film it. Yeah, honestly, I have to say, man, this movie was just really well shot. Yeah, overall, I have to say the cinematography in this film was genuinely great. In terms of the film's editing, like, honestly, as well as being a really well shot movie, I'm not gonna lie, it was really well edited also. Like, the way that, like, all these scenes are, like, edited and stuff, like, when these characters are kind of having, like, all these conversations and stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, I really like the way that they edited it and stuff. Like, and while, like, A24, they, a lot of their movies kind of do have a certain kind of style with how they edit it and stuff. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I actually just really do love, like, how they edit this movie. Honestly, it's just really visually pleasing. Yeah, honestly, I just really do appreciate the way that's, like, they edit this movie and stuff. Yeah, honestly, a very well edited film. Yeah, so the editing in the movie was very good too. In terms of the film's pace, now, the movie is not too long, but it has kind of about, like, a moderate enough runtime. The film is an hour and 51 minutes, which honestly I think, like, that is overall a pretty decent runtime for a movie like this. And I gotta say, the way that the movie is paced is actually quite interesting. Like, a lot of the movie is these characters having a conversation, and I'm not gonna lie, these scenes actually went on for longer than I expected. Cause like, if you see in the trailer, you know that our like villain in this movie, he, like, has this whole like underground thing and stuff where, like, he sends the two girls into. They do go there in the movie, but it actually took longer than I thought for them to actually get in there and stuff, because like a good portion of the movie is the characters, having these conversations about religion and stuff, and basically there's a lot of thought-provoking stuff happening. But like honestly, from the dialogue we get during these kind of slow scenes, they are honestly really interesting and very thought-provoking, as well as even being a bit entertaining as well, and they're also well acted, as I'll get to later on. Yeah, so honestly, I don't think you'll really mind too much the fact that these scenes might be kind of taking their time a bit, as honestly, I think it actually works for the story. Now, if I do have any small complaints, I will say I think some scenes in this movie kind of do drag for a bit too long. Like, I mean, there are one or two times where, like, I did honestly feel like, the movie was dragging a tiny bit, and, I was, kind of hoping that they was kind of get on with it a bit, but, like, it was kind of for, like, one or two little small parts, but, like, honestly, for the most part, I thought the kind of slow pacing actually did work for the movie. Yeah, overall, I thought the pace in this movie was actually genuinely very good. Now in terms of the sound and music, I'm not gonna lie, some of the sound effects that we actually hear in the movie are actually really good. Like they're kind of creepy, and like they actually work well for the movie. They like really add to it a bit. Yeah, the sound effects are good. The music also is quite good. And like the score overall is actually genuinely really good. Like also, I thought the movie actually did have genuinely a pretty good score. Like it fit the movie well, and like was genuinely a bit creepy at times. It helps add to the suspense of certain scenes. Yeah, honestly, I did genuinely like the score in the film, and like if you see the first trailer for the movie, obviously you hear the song, The Air That I Breathe, which I really do like that song. We actually do hear that song in the movie. It's played during this one scene where Mr. Reese is basically explaining something about the song and a similar song, and basically comparing it to religion and stuff, and like the way that they're able to integrate that song into that scene is honestly just done really well, and I really did appreciate that. So overall, I would say the sound and music in the movie was actually very good. Now, in terms of the characters and the performances from the cast, now, really we only have three main characters who the movie focuses on. We have like our main two protagonists, who are like the two Mormon missionaries, Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton, and honestly I liked them both as characters. Like we get to know them a bit like before everything kind of starts happening, and like they do have good chemistry. I like the way they work off each other, and like the way they work off of mysteries as well is also very good. Like, genuinely, I did really enjoy both of their characters. Like, and even as the movie goes on, as they start to, kind of realize things aren't right, and then they're just kind of thrust into this whole ordeal and stuff, yeah. They do both make for compelling leads, and I have to say, the performances from both of these actresses, Chloe East and Sophie Thatcher, both of them are honestly very good. Like, I mean, Sophie Thatcher, I know her from the Book of Boba Fett and the Boogeyman, and yeah, and I know, of course, she's also starring in that movie that's out next year, Companion. Yeah, she honestly did very well as Sister Barnes, and Chloe East, I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever seen her in anything, and yeah, she really impressed here as Sister Paxton. Yeah, both of them were honestly great in their roles. Then of course we also have our main villain for the movie, Mr. Reed. Um, I gotta say, man, did I love this character. Like, oh boy, he was genuinely a great villain. Like, he honestly does make for an intimidating and threatening villain, but like, he's also just very entertaining as well, and like, but especially throughout the movie when, we see like his views on religion, and how he kind of uses certain things like board games and songs to compare to religion. Yeah, oh boy, does he make for an interesting character. And like, yeah, Hugh Grant, I gotta say, man, I'm honestly proud to have the same birthday as Hugh Grant, because, oh boy, Hugh Grant literally just steals the show. Like, he does a great performance in this movie. Like, he's already proved that he can play a great villain. And yeah, he literally just knocks it out of the park here. Like, he has genuinely great chemistry with both of the actresses, and like, just the way he plays this character is just really, really good. Yeah, he definitely stole the show in this film. Yeah, really, they're kind of our three characters. Like, I mean, we do have a small role in this from Topher Grace. That's right, the original Venom, Topher Grace. Yeah, he does have a small role in this as like this like guy who works at the church where the two sisters are at, and there's like this small little kind of sequence where he's trying to look for them, and it's only kind of a small part of the movie, honestly, but it's genuinely a pretty entertaining so apart from the brief screen time that it gets. But yeah, I gotta say, our three main players, they all did great here. Yeah, as well as that, their characters were very memorable, and especially Mr. Reed, like, with like what they did with his character and how he talks about religion. Oh yeah, he's definitely up there as one of A24's best villains, and probably one of the best villains of the year, honestly. Yeah, overall, the characters and the performances were both just superb. In terms of the plot of the movie now, the movie does have an interesting concept where, like, we have these two young Mormon missionaries, and they're attempting to convert this man, but like, it turns out that let's just say they end up being thrust into quite the ordeal. Yeah, I won't get into it without giving away spoilers, but like honestly, it's one that like you definitely should go into it like not really knowing too much, because like oh boy, you'll be in for quite the experience with this one. Like I'm not gonna lie, what this movie kind of did, how it approached this whole plot, like I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was really interesting. Yeah, like oh boy, when we see this character, Mr. Reeves, like of course we find out like he's not who he seems because he acts all nice at first, but then suddenly like he starts basically giving his views on like all these different religions, because he studied like pretty much all of the religions and stuff, and like things start to unravel, and like he has the two doors, belief and disbelief, and it's like the way he kind of just like mind tricks both of these girls. Yeah, it honestly was just really engaging, but like even then, like a lot of the film's runtime is dedicated to these three characters just having a conversation, and Mr. Reeve basically just explaining like all his beliefs and findings to them and stuff, and like all I will say is it is quite the thought provoking movie. Like as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Reeves, like he uses things like board games and songs to compare to religions and stuff, and like honestly it was just genuinely really interesting. Like honestly, this movie is by far the most I've ever been interested in religion, cause like not even really like a very scary movie. Like really, it's more of like an interesting and a thought provoking film. Yeah, it's definitely one that I do highly recommend, because like honestly, the movie does pose some honestly really like interesting conversations, and like some of the twists and turns that it takes are actually quite interesting. You might not even see all of them coming. But like how it executed this whole plot was honestly just brilliant. Like this movie kind of it could have easily just been like kind of a traditional like horror film. Like it actually chose to do some like really interesting things with like how it approaches the subject of religion. Yeah, honestly, I did genuinely really enjoy it. Overall, the plot of the movie is great. Like with how it takes this concept and how it actually makes something like really interesting, and also actually a bit funny at times as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. In terms of the narrative structure, now really our main plot with the film is we have these two girls, and they're Mormon missionaries attempting to convert this man, but he puts them in this whole mind game and brings them into this ordeal, and that kind of is our plot with this movie. Like throughout the film, we kind of do learn something, one or two things about the girls, and like honestly, the way they kind of do like fit into like the main plot happening, like honestly does work well. As I mentioned, there's like kind of a small little like scene or two where we have a character played by Topher Grace who's looking for the two girls, but honestly that's kind of really only a subplot in the film, if you can call it a subplot. But yeah, honestly, like the way that they just executed the whole like narrative was just really really good. Like, as I said, it's really interesting, thought provoking, a bit funny as well. Yeah, overall, it was very interesting how they did the whole narrative structure, and like, it just made for a fun and very thought provoking film. Yeah, overall, I thought the narrative structure was well done here. But yeah, overall, I really did enjoy Heretic. Like, the movie has an interesting concept, but like the way it executed it and like actually had some like thought provoking themes of religion and stuff, and how it communicated them was really, really good. And as well as that, you have some suspenseful moments, you have great acting, some very good cinematography and editing, and as well as like just like having like good like kind of slow burn to it. Yeah, overall, I did really enjoy Heretic, and for me, it's definitely gonna go down as one of the best horror movies of the year. And like, if you haven't yet seen the film, then I would highly recommend you go and watch it, because it will definitely leave for quite a memorable experience, I will say. But yeah, overall, I'm really glad that I did check this one out, because I had a great time with this. So with all of that, I'm going to give Heretic a 9 out of 10. So with that, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.